Hi everyone. My name is Elizabeth Olubaju, and I have this initiative, or some of us have this initiative to start something to give back to the community, whereby we can help you to become like us. Because I know everybody wants to be a registered architect, or they want to enter into the construction circle in UK. We are running it like a cohort. Cohort means you have entered now as, one of us. We train you for 8 weeks. You go out to do work experience for 4 weeks. That is a 12-week cycle. And, we want to be successful in it because it's going to be like they'll say, okay, what percentage were you able to put into workforce? We want to be able to say 100%. So if you are not going to be here for lectures, it will not be good. So, my name is Elizabeth, and I'm just going to make, because architect Musa will speak first. So I will, because he needs to go, I will just say, Architect Mamiroro, can you just say something little about yourself before Architect Musa goes on? We have, here also, I have Mr. Anthony is a registered architect in Nigeria, but he's on the call, but he may not be able to speak today, maybe next week. But his company, which is PDDML, is one of the companies that are going to help us. He's a chartered architectural technologist, and he's also running this kind of thing in Nigeria presently. So I'm happy to have you. I know you may not be able to speak where you are, Architect Anthony. Thank you so much. God bless you. So I can see James Bank. Hey, hello, James.
Hello. Thank you for the last minute invite. I appreciate the 5 hours notice, but it's all good.
I'm sorry about
That's what I
that.
enjoy. No worries.
Okay. Well, I know you're supposed to start at 6:30, but we started a bit late. So I'm just gonna let Architect Musa introduce himself. I'm happy you are here because this is what we are really waiting for. You need to talk to us about CIAT. Just for you to know, you will get to know us better. We are Nigerians. Most of us here are Nigerians, and there's something called African time.
Okay. That's
we
fine.
have
Yeah, I mean,
we have 30 students registered, but right now we only have about like 5-10 people here, but it will get better. So just relax and you get to
any
understand.
time's a good time. Fine by me. I live in
Thank you.
South London. It's fine.
Okay, thank you. So Architect Musa, please, can you just say something before James takes on? Thank you.
Sure. Hi, I'm Musa Garba. I'm a registered architect in the UK. I studied here, so I went through the system here, and I've been working. I was working in London for a number of practices, small, large, medium, all through the different ranges, and then I went to Qatar in the Middle East, and I was a project manager out there as well. Came back about 7 years ago, and since then I've been self-employed. A bit tough to begin with because of COVID, but thankfully things have picked up a bit now. And so I think my role is to just explain to you what the system is in UK. And also because I do examining, I do part 3 examining at a few universities. I do ARB examining as well for part 1 and part 2. And I also do RIBA validation for schools. I'm on their validation as well. So I've got that sort of experience. I can pass my knowledge across for those kinds of things. One thing that I think I should just explain to you, currently in order to qualify or to register here, you're meant to do part 1, part 2, and part 3, and then you can apply to be registered with ARB. Next year, spring next year, part 1 is going.
Okay.
So it'll just be parts 2 and part 3. So I just thought I'd let you know that, because that's something that's out there, and I don't think a lot of people know about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I know you said you're going to leave early. That's fine. So, James, are you ready for us now?
Yeah, well, it's 6:30. We're bang on time, so that's good by
Yeah.
me.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
we are. We're on time, so that's not a problem. Just bear with me while I get my presentation set up. So just while I get the screen set up, I'll just introduce myself quickly. So obviously, I'm James Banks. I'm head of membership at the Chartered Institute of Architectural Technologists. So we're the lead global qualifying body for architectural technology professionals, wherever you choose to practice or wherever you end up practicing. But within the UK context, the Chartered Architectural Technologist is qualified on a par with a Chartered Architect, and they're both qualified and competent to deliver architectural services across the full scope from client brief through to handover and completion. They work collaboratively in the bigger practices, and there's that mutual respect that we're all in it together. So CIAT potentially is a professional home for you if you don't necessarily want to do parts 2 and 3 from next spring with ARB. But as in Elizabeth's case, you can be a registered architect, you can be a chartered architectural technologist, you can hold lots of other alternative qualifications within your professional scope and journey. So I shall just share my screen.
Okay.
Sharing is not turned on at the moment, Elizabeth. So if you could just give me
I've allowed,
approval.
I've allowed you.
And then I will just give you a snapshot on CIAT and the options for you to potentially register and qualify and get recognition for your knowledge, skills, and experience that you've got. So, I said architectural technology is a future-facing profession. You understand the science and technology to deliver architectural projects. Digital delivery is pushing the boundaries forward, and architectural technology professionals are well placed to deliver that scope. So you can be a CIAT member anywhere in the world. You can qualify based on previous experience wherever you've practiced, so whether it's Nigeria, whether it's Qatar, whether it's England, Wales, Scotland, Ireland, wherever it might be. You know, that CIAT recognition and qualification can help you globally and progress wherever you choose to practice within the discipline. So CIAT has a set structure, and generally for most people in the room, I'm assuming you're an overseas qualified architectural professional.
Yes.
Therefore, what you want to concentrate is coming into CIAT. The entry levels would be associate membership or affiliate status. Affiliate status is for those individuals that are self-employed or do consultancy work and provide services directly to the market to clients, and that is the route you would come in at. It doesn't matter about academic qualifications and professional qualifications. If you're a director of your own company and you offer services directly to the market, you need to initially come in as an affiliate. It's about a 10-minute process to join through the CIAT website. It involves CV, proof of qualification, relevant fees, which may vary depending on individual circumstance, and then registering your practice, providing evidence of professional indemnity insurance, and ensuring your website and all your literature describes your business appropriately and your qualifications appropriately. But a fair percentage, and most people generally come in as an associate. So associate is for individuals that are unemployed or an employee, specifically for an organisation. It's awarded on level of academic qualification. So generally speaking, the African framework follows the UK framework. So a degree in architecture from Nigeria, from Ghana, wherever it might be, would mirror the level of a UK Part 1 architecture degree. So we would say that's acceptable for associate membership. And again, you join through the website, you provide a CV, you complete the sections of the form. It should take about 5 minutes. And that will enable you to come in as an associate and get entry into the CIAT community and network while you work towards becoming a chartered architectural technologist. So that is a legally protected title. You can only call yourself a chartered architectural technologist if you're a full qualified current member of CIAT, and it comes with a designate MCIAT. Elizabeth has taken the extra step to get fellow membership. Anthony's almost there for his fellow membership. They both run their own business. They're both CIAT chartered practices, which are a benefit that comes with qualifying as a chartered architectural technologist if you offer services to the market. So wherever you come in at, you can move on and you can get that competence recognition for your knowledge, skills, and experience wherever you've attained that within the CIAT community. So we're here to represent you, to be your collective voice, to be a home for you, to be a community. You know, advantages and benefits of professional registration. I'd argue Elizabeth, Musa and Anthony are better placed than me to explain the benefits of recognition and registration and competence verification and how it helps you get forward in your career. But we do hold CPD events, networking events, whether they're webinars or in-person social events. Each and every region throughout the UK and our overseas centres have money from CIAT to put on events. So the London region is quite vibrant, the North West region is quite vibrant, the East Anglia region's got a lot of events going on. And you get access to all of this by being an associate, an affiliate, or a chartered member. There's an online mentoring platform called Mentor Match Me, which I know Elizabeth is signed up on. You can sign up, fill in a form, and it will generate members that will help and support you. You've got the Knowledge Zone through the CIAT website, which is another area where members are willing to support other members on specialist areas such as adjudication, arbitration, party wall, certificate non-compliance, whatever it might be. There's a whole scope of support within CIAT, and the benefits and advantages are all listed on the website, and it's open to individual interpretation and personal benefits. So I won't sit here listing them all, but we do have other professional qualifications. So registered principal designer, as an example, as a requirement with the Building Safety Act in England. CIAT accredited conservationist, chartered environmentalist are to name but three that you can get once you're chartered as a member with CIAT. So there is a defined qualification process. It's called the professional assessment, and the criteria you need to meet are defined within 3 stages. RIBA have part 1, 2, part 3. We have stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. And the competency framework has recently been revised to ensure that it meets the expectations of current industry. And stage 1 is educational standards. So that's assessment of your knowledge and understanding. How do you know what you do? What is your theory and understanding of architectural technology? So I don't envisage many in the room have a CIAT accredited honours or masters, but if you do, you're exempt from stage 1. But as I said, overseas degree qualifications are equivalent and would enable access as an associate or an affiliate, and then you would have to reference the module content or the knowledge you've learned through your career against the 11 bullet points within stage 1. Stage 2 is called the practice standards, so it's assessment of your work-based project experience from wherever you practice and wherever you've got experience. But within those 4 areas of skills of designing, managing, practicing, developing, there's 4 or 5 bullet points of specific experiences that you need to explain and demonstrate you've done. And then you need to back it up with supporting evidence to show your portfolio and the range and the breadth and depth of your experience. Once we assess 1 and 2 through your assessment and your portfolio, all being well, we invite you to sit your professional standards interview, which will hone in on ethics, professionalism, code of conduct, continual professional development, knowing your limitations. Again, sensible to read the CIAT code of conduct of what you're adhering to and what we expect of all professionals. And at the end of that process, you can be a chartered member. So the good news, I suppose, compared to ARB is if you don't have a part 2, you don't need to go back to university to do stage 2. It's a portfolio of work experience. And some of you in the room, because you can backdate it against what you've done already, you may well have got most, if not all, the experiences you need to be chartered. And it's something you do around your other responsibilities in life to show that you're competent to meet the requirements. And we've just broadened the design experience pathway. So you could be a lead designer, a principal designer, a facade designer, a digital or BIM specialist, a design management specialist. You might be a research and or academic. You might be a couple of these. You can bring these all into your application, related to the respective criteria, evidence where appropriate to show your competence, and that will facilitate the option to get your chartered qualification. So I think it's fair to say being a chartered professional is a globally recognised standard of excellence because it has a value to you. It has a value to all the stakeholders you work with, and it has a value to all the companies that might employ you because it benchmarks your knowledge, your skills, your experience, your competence, your professionalism. Whether you're a chartered manager like me, a chartered accountant, a chartered engineer, a chartered architect, a chartered architectural technologist, most global conglomerates and jurisdictions understand the kudos and the status that comes with that verification and rigorous assessment of competence. So again, loosely touching on this because I know it's probably quite a lot to take in. 11 questions you need to answer to demonstrate your equivalent knowledge and understanding of studying a CIAT accredited degree. You're looking at around 300 words per topic, and a written response could be sufficient to show how you've got your knowledge, but you could refer to CPD courses, you could refer to additional training you've undertaken, you could refer to alternate professional qualifications or academic qualifications. Again, you can just work through this one question at a time at your own speed, over a week, over a month, over a year, as and when you feel comfortable. Stage 2, again, we define in the competency framework, which I can email to all of you, because I'm going to put my email address at the end of this presentation, and Elizabeth, by all means, please do share my contact details. We've defined what we mean by those phrases of designing, managing, practicing, and developing self, so that applicants can understand what sort of capability and experience you need to potentially have before you look at designing bullet point 1, bullet point 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. So for this part, this is going to be about your project-based deliverables, your experience, your portfolio, to show the breadth and depth of your experience in whatever jurisdiction you deliver projects. So you see the brief narrative addressing the bullet points backed up with supporting documents. So documents might be a planning application, a building regulations submitted, technical design details, contract administration, dealing with conflicts. You know, the full gambit across what's known as the RIBA plan of work would be beneficial. But if you specialise as a digital technologist or a retrofit technologist, we wouldn't expect the full scope of the plan of work. We'd expect the work stages that you get involved in. And I know Elizabeth later on through this course will talk about RIBA work stages, because that is generally a globally recognised standard of excellence of how to work through stages of delivering an architectural project. Oh, and here we go. Here's one I made earlier. I mean, this is the 2020 plan of work. There's 8 stages, 0 through to 7. As I said, wherever you fit in here, we would expect to see evidence. So you might just do full scope, 0 to 7, start to finish. We'd expect to see evidence. But if you specialise in 4 and 5 or 2, 3 and 4, that's fine. You just contextualise that in your professional assessment against the competency requirements. So again, areas you might get involved in as a technologist or a technician that's progressing to be a technologist. Your whole application could be about one of these areas. It could be digital and BIM, as I alluded to, or project and design management. That's fine. However, if you have additional experience in things like master planning, landscape architecture, building surveying, historic building conservation, or some of the legislative frameworks in different jurisdictions, say in the UK, you've got the CDM regulations, you've got the Building Safety Act. Again, they're applicable to England and the UK, but if mainly your experience is elsewhere, you just refer to the Qatari expectations or the Dubai municipality legislation as to what you're complying with. So it doesn't have to be UK experience only to get your qualification, but you need to have an awareness of certain regulations and stipulations if you're planning to practice or you're working within the UK at the moment. Again, building typologies. Who you work for or what your clients demand will mould what building typologies you can put forward in your stage 2 portfolio. So if you work for a healthcare specialist practice, your whole portfolio can be healthcare projects. But if you've got involved in educational projects or defence projects or office buildings, refurbs, fit outs, interiors, these all add value. So the more projects you can bring in, that shows different skills, different experiences, and that adds to breadth and depth of experience within your portfolio to make it a stronger application. But again, you can cherry pick from each and every of these thumbnails as per your experience. Once you finish your assessment, you send that to CIAT. We review that. You get 3 opportunities to pass your stage 1 and 2 portfolio review. At each point, if you're not successful, we'll give you guidance as to what we need to see to enable you to get a pass to move on. So we're never going to say, fail, you're not good enough. We're going to say, look, we looked at this. We need clarification on D1, D2, and further evidence for M1, M2. So it's a supportive, collaborative process. All being well, you can sit your stage 3 professional standards interview. These are generally held via Zoom because that's the new world order and most people want to do that. But if you want to sit in London or Manchester in person or another regional hub like Birmingham or Dublin, that's also an option. But there's 8 competencies within the framework, and we just need to make sure that your application for stage 1 and 2 is an accurate and fair reflection, because you have to talk about what you've written. This is a good, robust stop check to ensure AI applications are not getting through, because you can't send a robot to do your interview for you. But it's around ability to communicate, behave, and interact in a professional, ethical, and knowledgeable manner, very similar to the Part 3 process for registration as an architect. 45-minute discussion. You will lead most of it. We will just steer you through the areas we'd like you to discuss, but there's no set agenda because it's about what you put in your application. You get the decision on the day, you leave for 10, 15 minutes, you come back in, they will give you a decision. Pass rate for the last 5 years at interview has been 90% plus, because if you're strong enough and we invite you to interview, the odds are well in your favour you'll be successful. Again, if you're unsuccessful, it's not a fail, it's a referral. These points came across as deficiencies on the day. You'll get verbal feedback there and then from your peers. We will crystallise that and write to you with what the points are that you need to brush up upon before you reapply. You write a report. You have to wait at least 3 months before you reapply. You pay the fee again. You just sit an interview with the opportunity to be successful second or third time round. So 3 chances to pass stage 1 and 2 included in the initial fee. 1 chance to pass stage 3 including the initial fee, but any subsequent stage 3 interview does come with an additional fee. And I've exited presenter mode there for some reason. And then just going back to what I started on, obviously CIAT charter practice is a value add for your business if you're self-employed or you plan to offer services to the market. Free benefit of you being a chartered architectural technologist with CIAT. So you can get site signboards, plaques, certificates, logos, practice administration document, contract administration document, all branded CIAT. If you get to chartership and you can demonstrate significant contribution and or excellence within architectural technology, and anything excellent or significant would have demonstrable impact, you can apply for fellow. As I said, Elizabeth is a fellow, and I've got a sneaky feeling Anthony will be soon enough. So there's a couple of people that have been through all these processes that can help you and steer you on CIAT specific process. Corporate membership's not really relevant. And then just honing in a bit more about this international presence. So we've got around 9,500 members worldwide. Obviously, our heartland is the UK, Ireland, followed by Europe. But we are getting ever more demand for accreditations globally. So we've now got 2 accredited programs in Egypt, as an example. We're probably going to have 3 in Dubai very soon. So there is more and more global interest, and there are international centres called Middle East and Africa, but we are going through a review at the moment, and I am having discussions with my colleague that we probably need to think about splitting Middle East and Africa, because with these new programs in Egypt, we've got the cumulative mass of Africa probably outweighing the Middle East on numbers of members. So as long as I can justify that case to CIAT's executive board, I literally sent an email about 20 minutes ago and said, if we're reviewing all of this, we probably need to split that already. So soon come, hopefully, CIAT Africa will just be a standalone centre where the likes of Elizabeth and yourselves, if you join, and Anthony can help drive us forward, because centres get support from CIAT, centres get money, centres can invest and make their own decisions. They have a group or a committee that make decisions for the greater good of each centre. So, you know, we're moving with you because we can see the intent and the interest. So we want to collaborate and we want to support. So that's the long and short of it. Architecturaltechnology.com is the CIAT website. You can look at our events calendar for events coming up. You can follow us on Instagram. If you're on LinkedIn, please do add me on LinkedIn, James Banks. I'm always posting a lot of stuff about what CIAT is doing, whether it's webinars, in-person events, consultations, opportunities, whatever it might be. You know, following Elizabeth and the Architectural Pearl journey on LinkedIn has some examples. It's fine. There's my email address. If you email membership out, that's probably going to go to some of my colleagues that just manage that inbox. But if you want to approach me in the first instance and you want to know about routes to join, routes to qualify, see what this competency framework is, see what the professional assessment looks like, understand what fees might be involved depending on your personal circumstances. So if you're unemployed, there's a concessionary subscription rate, making it a lot cheaper. If you are still in Nigeria and you're earning Nigerian wages compared to the UK, there's also supportive subscriptions available depending on how much you earn. So we can have a separate discussion over email about your personal circumstance. But if you do want to reach out, I just need to know, well, ideally have a copy of your CV, highest level of academic qualification, and whether you offer private services to the market. So that could be private services outside of your full-time employment. You still need to be an affiliate, but happy to collaborate and work with people as necessary. Thank you very much for the opportunity. And I may well be back later on in the course, but I'm happy to take any questions now.
Thank you so much, James. We appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Is anybody, do you have any question? Does anybody have a question for James? This is the time. Ty, okay, Ty, you want to say something? You need to show your face, Ty, please, if you can.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you able to?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So go ahead and ask your question.
Thank you very much for this session, Elizabeth and other speakers. Thank you, James, for being here. Now, the first question I'd like to ask, just give me a minute, I wrote it down somewhere. Second. Let me quickly get my thoughts and come back, okay?
Okay. Now, somebody asked me a question before you came. I think the person has a company in Nigeria, but the person is now here and wants to be a chartered member. She said she contacted CIAT and they said she can only join as affiliate. So
Yeah,
can you
that's
clarify
correct.
that?
Okay, so the code of conduct of CIAT, which is the code of professional ethics, is set by members for members. Within that code, if you offer services directly to clients without going through our qualification process, we can't verify your competence, your suitability without registering your practice details with CIAT. So whether you say I worked at Atkins as an architectural technologist, but I did private work on the side for friends and families, like planning applications, I would still only be able to join as an affiliate because I'd have to register my practice, I'd have to provide evidence of relevant indemnity insurance, get all my website and practice documentation approved to ensure compliance with our requirements. And that is why you must join as an affiliate. So it's the same whether you're in Nigeria, whether you're in Qatar, whether you're in the Bahamas or Chicago. If you offer private services directly to clients, your initial way in is an affiliate. But then you go through the same qualification process to get your chartership. So, you know, affiliate lets you say CIAT affiliate, associate gives you ACIAT. They're very similar. It's just a formal vet check that we need to do to implement our own code of compliance, which our members have told us as staff, you must ensure these people comply with our code at all points when they're a member of CIAT or an affiliate.
Okay. Okay, that's good. Okay, Ty, you ready now?
Yeah, thank you very much. The question is, I heard that if someone has got a master's degree, you're exempt from stage 1.
No, so yeah, it needs to be CIAT accredited. So there's only about 4 of them, and they're all UK based. Or maybe a couple of in Spain. So they have to have gone through a validation process by us. So we have to go and check the outputs of those courses. So it's Robert Gordon University, Derby University, Nottingham Trent University. They've submitted their documentation to us. We've reviewed it. We've done an assessment. We've said, right, you are worthy of CIAT accreditation. So you can have an honours degree or a master's degree from overseas internationally. It will probably equate to a similar level, but you won't get an exemption from stage 1 because we have no idea on that course content because it's not been submitted to us and we've not verified it meets our output. So when you're doing stage 1, those 11 points, you could refer to the module content from your degree, your master's, or any other knowledge you've learned throughout your career through CPD, training, etc., and use that to answer any of those 11 topics. So we're not saying we don't value it. We're just saying you need to tell us what was delivered in that course that's relevant to the questions we're asking you or the topics we want you to demonstrate.
All right, thank you very much.
Any other questions from anybody else? Does anybody else have any other question? Okay. So because okay, Abiola is even here. I'm asking the question on your behalf. Abiola, are you able to speak where you are?
Check Trivago. You got it. Check Trivago. On Trivago, you can compare prices for multiple.
Can you mute, please?
See? Same hotel.
Okay, I think that's it for now. Niall Ailey will be here at 7 o'clock to tell us his own story. I know Niall is is British kind of, or Ireland, from Ireland. So he has his own story to encourage internationally trained architectural technologists. So while we're waiting for him, if anybody has a question, you can ask. Otherwise, I will let you guys introduce yourself because you haven't finished introducing yourself.
Right,
So
what, Elizabeth, I might just say my goodbyes. I'll let everyone
Okay.
carry on. Niall Healy is a chartered architectural technologist. He does stage 3 professional interviews. He's the London region chair. He's got a CIAT gold medal. Got every faith in Niall to deliver a great story. So well done, Elizabeth. Appreciate the opportunity. I will come back if you need me. But good luck, everybody. And my LinkedIn profile's in the chat. My email's in the chat. If you're not sure, just ask me a question. That's what I get paid for. As Elizabeth knows, as Anthony knows, I'm very approachable. Just ask, and chances are I'll do my best to deliver what you're asking.
Yeah.
So good luck. And yes.
Before you go, now one of the most important thing is, number one, for this course, for anyone to be on this course, you have to be an associate member. That is a prerequisite. Okay. So everybody on this course will be an associate member of CIAT. So I know we talked about, because now you are here, I need to just validate what we talked about the last time. What we are looking for, most importantly, is that at the end of this course, which is in 8 weeks, we are looking for us to have a direct mentor where we can have like a sample work experience. So I'm only saying this because why we are doing it online is because all of these people are in different places in UK. If we're in one place, we could have come out and have the lecture in a room. But because some are in West Midlands, some are, in different places. So what we are looking at is the possibility of, once we have the true number of people really going to be on the course, I will let you know and let you know where each person is from, so that if there are chartered companies of chartered architectural technologists in those areas, we can start talking to them now, so that when they finish, we don't want you to pay us. No, we want to offer our free, we want to volunteer for a month in any of these companies. So I'm just telling you again, we know we've talked about it, but I'm reminding you that it's not just London. It's not just London.
It was only last Thursday. I mean, what the discussion was that people like Niall runs his own charter practice.
Yeah.
Niall is massively involved in the London region. Okay. Niall, as a member, has a lot more flexibility to we call it putting the feelers out. So you can put the feelers out and ask the question. Yeah. The members on their own WhatsApp group can kind of got license to pitch whatever they want. Okay. I am bound a little bit by the CIAT structure. Okay. That, I can't necessarily conflict with 80 jobs and say, well, I'm going to do this. If you put something on LinkedIn, I'm more than happy to repost that. So that's fine. Now someone's asking, so the benefit of the affiliate routing, so we've got affiliate A and affiliate B. Affiliate B is self-employed, offering service to clients. Affiliate A is you've just got, say, 20 years experience and you've learned on the job. So you join as an affiliate. You don't have to register a practice. 5-minute process through the website, CV, application form, formal ID. So we need a copy of passport and ID for whoever that wants to join. And then you work through that stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 of the professional assessment. So again, you don't need to go and get any further academic qualifications or additional studies, but you do need to map your suitability against the educational standards, the practice standards, and the professional standards. So it's quite an inclusive route. Yeah. As long as you can meet what's in the competency framework and pass all those stages, you can be a chartered member without having to go back and do a degree or a master's, as an example.
Okay, so who is
so on the work experience one, Elizabeth, I think we can do some engagement within the peer network. So, did they add you to the London region WhatsApp group last week?
No, I'm only in the Ireland region.
Okay. Oh, you're in that one. Well, okay. HND, we accept that for associate membership. So HNC, HND, anything above that level we say is a suitable academic level of qualification for associate status, as long as you're not offering services directly to clients.
Okay.
Outside of full-time employment or just doing that solely.
Someone else raised their hand, please. Don't go yet.
No
Yemisi,
worries.
can you can you speak, please?
Thank you so much, James. I just wanted to ask before you leave, if it's the same process to becoming chartered for both the affiliate member and the associate member. Do they go through the same stages?
Yes, you go through. So going back to my slide, you both come in at that level and you follow the same arrow. So it's just your entry level just differs based on the code of conduct. So have you got the required level of academic qualification for associate? If so, fine, but you have to be solely an employee or unemployed. Otherwise, it's affiliate because you don't have the requisite level of academic qualification for associate, or you have to be an affiliate because of your employment circumstances, i.e. you're self-employed offering services to the market. So
sorry.
You follow the same route, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, whatever you come in at, associate or affiliate, and they're just short-term things while you move on.
Musa, please chartered. Wait. Yeah. Sorry, I had to cut in. One of my guests is leaving now. Architect Musa, are you still there? Okay, please, before you go, one photo, because Niall is already here, and I know you're also leaving. So let's just do one photo. Just bear with me. I need to be able to show gallery. Okay, yeah. I got gallery. Who is Adebare? Please, everybody on, let's see your face before our guest goes so that we have one good photo for today. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You're all looking fine and handsome and beautiful and everything and everything and everything and everything. Adebare Razak, please. I want to see your face. Iyola Salami, Valentine, Muhammad, everybody, let's see your face and take one good photo, please. Architect Mamiroro, I know you might not be able to, but if you can, that's great. Can we smile? Let me do my hair. Print screen, are we ready to go? Valentine, Muhammad, Iyola Salami. Okay, anyway, I'm going. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay. Cheese. Yeah. Done.
Right, I'm going to say my goodbyes. I'm going to pass on the CIAT baton to my good friend Niall. Over to you, sir. See you soon.
Bye.
Take care, everyone. Cheers, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
Thanks, bye.
Thank you so much.